Hello everybody, my name is JCW and welcome back to the Max Cave Speedrun series. After hitting 200 mil on my level 3, I set a new goal for myself, maxing total level on a brand new account in the shortest gameplay time possible. There are absolutely no restrictions, so I can do whatever it takes to achieve my ultimate goal, maxing total level within 35 days of playtime. Today, we are going to be taking a trip to the Quarry for mining. I have a lot of experience with this method. A lot of people when going for 200 mil mining end up spending a lot of time at volcanic mines since it's relatively close in XP rates but AFK. However, with my main being a level 3, this was my only option to train mining for 200 mil XP. So naturally, I had to spend 2,000 hours here to prepare just for this video. Before we get into the speedrun account training here, let's take a look from our paid sponsor. Hey, what's this little guy doing in my video? Go away!
Hey, what about my world?
Your world? Where do you come from, baby games?
That is not true. Hero Wars has vibrant graphics, cool gameplay, and a user-friendly interface.
Well, when you put it like that, it does sound exciting. Maybe I should tell my friends about it.
Tell them more about it.
There is no equal to Hero Wars. For instance, there are no limits for choosing a character, and you can unlock more and more as you continue playing. I mentioned Chaba before, the enemy devouring tank, but Celestia is just as good. She can switch between a DPS dark form and a healer light form, so she always comes handy. And it looks kinda cute. I mean, look at this great outfit she comes with. It's also super easy to play while remaining tactical, since you have to choose your heroes carefully to have the perfect team. With these many combinations, you'll never get tired of it. Like, the Shaman, he can't heal the elf as efficiently as Grandma Martha can. And no one makes a better pair than a Slow Cleaver and Swift Isaac. Also, from February 13th, you can gather Soul Stones and Skin Coins for 3 amazing heroes with new romantic skins that also boost their stats. Power up with your team Amira, Jorgen, and Kara. Besides, Hero Wars is a world of 6 unique modes, more than 300 Guild Wars servers, and 100 million players. You can play alone or with friends. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, here's a question for you. What if you get 30,000 coins, 600 emeralds, and 5 awesome heroes to start dominating in Hero Wars right away? Okay, I'll tell you. The answer is in the link in the description below. Play Hero Wars now. And thank you to Hero Wars for sponsoring. I'll get into everything that's going on and why I'm doing 100 different things to help me mine faster, but first, let's discuss casting Magic Imbue and Vengeance. I am so close to finishing my max cape, being over 80% of the way there, and as I near 99 Slayer, I see myself being short on combat XP. Luckily, magic experience is no issue because for the most part, you can train it passively from other skills, which is how I got to level 90 in the first place. So, for all of my mining XP throughout this grind, I'm going to be casting Magic Imbue every 12 seconds and Vengeance every 30 seconds. These both give a small amount of magic XP, but when you use them both as often as possible, you can gain up to 30k magic XP per hour. That might not sound like a lot, but when I'm only gaining 120k mining XP per hour, there's still a whole extra 3 mil magic XP I can gain just from mining. Here's the first level up of many in this episode, level 71 mining. On top of casting Magic Imbue and Vengeance, there's one more thing I must be doing throughout this skill on a speedrun account. The Dragon Pickaxe special attack gives a plus 3 mining boost. Naturally, as I level up my mining, my rate slightly goes up with the increased success rate of getting a rock. So, I had this bald guy right here spec transfer me every 90 seconds so that I can Dragon Pickaxe spec and yell smashing for 3 mining levels. This helps me smash the rocks. Here comes the next level up, 72 mining. You might be looking at my rate being 110k an hour at just level 72 and thinking, what the hell, how is it already 110k being such a low level? Especially because if you guys don't know, at level 98 this same rate will only be 124k-ish. It doesn't scale that heavily, but the question is, why? Higher levels mean higher chances of success, but why is it so minimal for mining? To answer you guys there, let's go back in time to when we did 99 woodcutting. For woodcutting, I was able to tick manipulate the system into giving me 2 rolls by starting a 3-tick action with my knife and log, walking, and then clicking the tree. This made it possible to get 2 teak logs at a time instead of 1. Look, mining is the exact same thing as woodcutting. I'm clicking a knife, log, walking, and then getting my rock. Unfortunately, even though it's the same mechanics as teaks, I can't get 2 rocks at the same time by the manipulation of ticks. For the times that you do notice I get 2 rocks at a time, It's because of my simple Varrock 2 armor, which gives me a 10% chance of mining 2 ores instead of 1. To keep things simple as to why this tick manipulation doesn't allow me to have 2 rocks at once, it's because the rocks are 1 by 1 in size, whereas teaks on Fossil Island are 3 by 3. If you do this method where you walk after starting the action at larger objects, you'll get 2 instead of 1, just like teaks. So why does this matter, and why did I just waste 3 minutes talking about it? Like I already said, the mechanic still applies to mining, it just can't give you 2 rocks at the same time because the rock is small. However, take a look at this flowchart that I made. This is how the mechanic works through mining. In one 3-tick cycle, the game will check if you succeeded and got a rock. If yes, you'll get the mining XP. If not, you don't have to give up yet. The system will re-roll a second attempt to successfully mine a rock. So if you failed the first time, you have another chance of getting XP in the same 3-tick cycle. If you roll it right, you get your mining XP, despite your mining level not succeeding the first time. If not, unlucky, I guess just get good. But this explains why I'm already getting 110k per hour at my level. It's because this method allows me 2 attempts to succeed per rock. That's all for my JCW talk. Hopefully now you understand why mining is mining. Here's the next level up, 76 mining. Oh, and if you're curious of where the smithing XP on the screen comes from, my Infernal Axe has a 1 in 3 chance of smelting a rock as I get it, so it should get me the remainder of 99 smithing. Here's level 77 mining. 79 mining. The big 80. 81 mining. 82. 83. And here's a nice round 85 mining. And after casting Vengeance on this rock for the 1000th time, 96 magic. Here's a fun little fact. When dropping ores, it's more efficient to only drop 2 to 4 at a time, that way you still get your first roll attempt. Otherwise, you'll only have 1 chance to get a rock, and it'll hurt your XP an hour by a small chunk. It makes it unfortunate since when I did 200 mil mining, I had a lot of fun trying to drop as many granites as I could as a small little challenge for myself. It hurt my XP an hour by 2 to 3k, but who cares as long as you're having fun, am I right? I mean, look at this old clip, guys. Tell me this doesn't look fun. While we're currently working on mining, let's not forget that we spent the past 6 weeks doing Logout Slayer, and we're not done with it yet. Here I am hitting 94 Slayer. Also, I want to say, after 94 levels of being lazy, I finally decided to bring a bracelet switch for my Crystal Halberd specs. Regen Brace is the best DPS glove/bracelet slot for me, so it's a minimal increase. But for those who don't really understand what's going on, I usually camp Slaughter Bracelets, which act as a way to extend my task by having a 25% chance of a monster not counting as a kill towards my task when it dies. This allows it so that when I get assigned 240 Necroreels, I may end up killing 300 instead and use 60 charges of my bracelet. It's extremely useful, but it has no DPS bonuses. So what I'm finally doing now is wearing my Regen Brace while I swing my Crystal Halberd, and then I have 1 tick to switch back to my Slaughter Bracelet before they die. And if I do it in time, I can still use the charges of my bracelets while also having the extra bonuses of my Regen Brace for when I attack them. If that sounds horrible, it's because it is. The difference changes per task based on the enemy's defense level, but for Necroreels in this scenario, it's about a 3% difference. Here comes my next level up, 94 attack. Another Slayer task I definitely want to mention, and one of my favorite ones, is Smoke Devils. I cannot stress this enough, but entering the Smoke Devil dungeon is like going to New York City for the first time. It's so ridiculously crowded. I don't have an exact count of how many there are, but when I log out, I can stack probably 15 to 20 of them on one tile. Unlike every other logout task, because of this, I'm able to drop 6 to 9 specs before having to log out, and all of those specs are hitting the maximum amount of NPCs, which is 10 for halberds. As you can see from the XP rates on screen as well, these pop off at about 200k an hour Slayer and nearly 800k melee XP. Smoke Devils were actually the reason I started to switch between a DPS bracelet and Slayer, because they have such high defense. The regen brace adds about an extra 9% DPS, which is basically an extra 20k an hour Slayer at these rates. I figured that after switching bracelets for this task, I was used to it, or at the very least, I had to get used to it, so I might as well do it everywhere else as well. And here's a very nice milestone, 91 defense and 2200 total. Now, we are just 77 levels away from max. Nearly 95 Slayer now and I'm on Blood Velds. I have very mixed feelings about this task since I stopped range bake pieing them. Because despite them being 170k an hour Slayer without superiors, which is extremely good, these are awful combat XP, since we kill them all at the same time, and every time right before we log in, we kill them all to half HP on our ults. It's like a part of me doesn't want to do any damage on the ult, just so I can have more combat XP, but I also know that's going to damage my Slayer XP rates. So for the time being, I don't have it in me to do it. So every time we get a Bloodveld task, hooray for our Slayer XP, but rip to our goal to finish 99 Slayer with all 99 combats even more. Here's 95 Slayer, aka our final level before we take a break and do mining. It's been a while since I showed myself getting a superior, but the way I do them now is I carry mage gear to every task that's appropriate for superior spawns, and only when the superior spawns, I'll switch to mage until it's dead. This actually made a huge difference versus how it was previously killing them, which was just meleeing them. This is just nice because they already take a bit to die, and getting damage on all the normie monsters is quite useful considering how long it takes. Anyway, because I spent the past 6 weeks doing Slayer, I'm probably going to steer clear from it for the next couple weeks. Here's 86 mining. Ideally, I would love to be done with this series around mid-March, but it's going to be a tough goal. However, end of March is guaranteed. That, you guys have my word on. I know I changed my goal of finishing a few times throughout the series, but it's mainly because I severely underestimated how long Logout Slayer would be. I predicted it would be about 3 weeks, and it's nearly 3 times that. So I mean, not much I can do there. Hopefully you guys can understand. Let's take a look at our progress, stats, and what exactly is left for us to do. On the left are my stats from last week, and on the right are my current stats. Pretty decent progress, especially because we finally got started on mining. Here's an easier visual for the gains, along with our current EHP. Being at 822 EHP puts us only 140 hours away. And we only have 4 Slayer levels left, so maybe only an extra 60 to 70 hours of staring at our logout screen. Overall, it's not that bad. And just to make things even clearer, let's take a look at what's left. We have 13 levels of mining, which is hopefully the longest thing left, and it will be relatively easy since I've already done 2,000 hours on my main and enjoyed it. 8 cooking levels, 1 fire making level, 4 Slayer levels, and 11 range levels. The yellow X's that I have marked are just skills that should be passive and never actively trained. After this, we get to discuss the next steps of my YouTube channel, which should be very exciting. Anyway Kings, that'll be all for this week's episode. As always, TY for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. I will see you all next time. Peace out.